Welcome to part 3 of trying to beat Plants vs Zombies 2 with instant kills only. If you haven't watched part 1 and 2, I highly recommend you do so. Both of those videos links are in the description below. This challenge will be an 11-part series and I will also be live streaming this challenge every other day. But before we get into the challenge, let's go through some things first. These are the only plants I will be allowed to use for the challenge. Plant food usage on our instant kills will be allowed, certain levels will have to be skipped, and I will also have to bend the rules of the challenge on certain levels. But anyways guys, let's get right into the video. Welcome to Wild West, aka the third world of PvZ 2. Day 1 was stupidly easy. Since very few zombies spawn per wave, I only used potato mines to kill them so I could save up on more sun to use the more expensive instant kills later on in the level. I also used plant food on my potato mine so that I could protect my lawnmowers in different lanes. Only basics and conehead zombies spawned throughout the entire level, and by the time we got to near the end of the level, I had more than enough sun to clear out the final wave of zombies. And that's day 1 done and dusted. Day 2 introduces the prospector zombie. Most of the zombies in this level are basics, coneheads and bucketheads, which means that I'm going to do the same strategy that I did in the previous level. When the prospector zombie first arrived, I thought that the zombie would be a massive threat, only to realize that they are a nothing burger. It turns out that the best way to counter them is to just ignore them. Not only that, but whenever a prospector zombie and any other zombie are on the same tile, I just put a squash next to them. It's like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. But overall, day 2 was also quite easy and I beat it on the first attempt. Day 3 introduces the piano zombie. Now you already know what strategy I do in the early game, planting only potato mines down to save up and conserve more sun. And when the potato mine cannot keep up with the spawn rate of zombies, we will have more than enough sun to use other instant kill plants to get rid of them. By the time we get to the middle game, the piano zombie arrives. Now you may think that the zombie is a massive problem, but that's not the case at all. If anything, they are actually beneficial since they clump up zombies together when they switch lanes. But other than that, this level was very easy. Day 4 is a conveyor belt level, so we're skipping this one. But hey, we finally unlocked Chili Bean, which means we now have another instant kill plant added to the roster. Day 5 introduces the poncho zombies, and it is the first 2-flag level in Wild West. The early game was very easy, so easy that I managed to defend all the zombies only using potato mines. By the time the first flag arrived, the wave of zombies were quite big, but it wasn't even really that threatening since a cherry bomb and a jalapeno could take care of most of them. The rest of this level wasn't even that hard either. Not to mention that the chili bean freezing the zombies helps us a lot here. By the time the final wave arrived, I already knew that this would be another win since cherry bomb and jalapeno cleans up most of the zombies. And that's day 5 beaten. Day 6 is the first plan your defense level in Wild West. The amount of zombies that spawned in the early game was pretty big. There were also a lot of piano zombies that spawned as well. But you know what? This level was surprisingly not that hard. I had enough sun and multiple instant kills to deal with all of the zombies. Not to mention that the plant food ability of the potato mine also helped us a lot here. So there's that. But anyways, day 6 was a fairly easy level beaten on the first try. Day 7 is another 2-flag level. Only a very little amount of zombies spawned per wave before the first flag, which allows us to stock up on a lot of sun. By the time the first flag arrives, we already have enough instant kills to deal with this wave of zombies. After the first flag, the spawn rate of zombies per wave started to increase by a huge amount. Luckily, I have enough instant kills to deal with them all, and by the time the final wave of zombies arrived, I managed to clean house fairly easily, and I lost 0 lawnmowers in this level. And that's day 7 beaten. Day 8 is a conveyor belt level, so let's skip this one. Day 9 is a pre-selected plant level, but we only get chili bean. At first I thought this level would be possible to beat only using a chili bean, until I saw this. Yeah, I don't care what you guys say, I am skipping this one. There is no way we're beating all of this with just a chili bean. Now buckle your seatbelts, ladies and gents, because day 10 is by far the most difficult level that I have played so far throughout this challenge. I am not kidding when I say that I spent a solid 3 hours trying to beat this level, and that is mainly because of the chicken wrangler zombies. Words cannot describe how much this zombie is the bane of my existence. Now when I played this level at first, I thought the chicken wrangler zombies would spawn quite late in the level since it is only one flag long, but no, it literally spawns on the 5th wave of the level. You've got to be kidding me. And just like that, we already lost one lawnmower. So that already drastically decreases our chances of beating this level. Not to mention that the amount of zombies that spawn after the halfway point is massive. Like, there is no way we could deal with all of this and efficiently kill all the chicken wrangler zombies at the same time. And surprise, surprise, I lost. However, I made a massive discovery when playing this level on the second attempt. It turns out that if you stun the chicken wrangler zombie with a chili bean and then kill it, none of the chickens will come out. However, this only works if there is another zombie in front of the chicken wrangler, because if there isn't, well, let's just say that trying to defend chicken wrangler zombies safely without losing lawnmowers is close to impossible. After playing this level a few more times, I decided to pre-plant almost 2 rows of chili beans and use a cherry bomb at the right time to prepare for the chicken wrangler zombies. However, getting the right timing to use the cherry bomb whenever the chickens came out was very difficult, and I would lose a lawnmower most of the time. What makes this level difficult is not only the chicken wrangler zombies, but the spawn rate of zombies per wave after the early game. My goodness. Throughout most of my attempts, I couldn't even make it to the final wave. But despite all that, I did not give up. I played this level in a different stream, and after memorizing most of the zombie spawning patterns, micromanaging different plants, and knowing when to use plant food on my instant kills, I finally managed to beat this monstrosity of a level. Day 11 is a don't spend more than X amount of sun level. Now my main strategy for this level is to obviously spam potato mines and use plant food on potato mines, since they are the cheapest instant kill plant that we have. Luckily this was only a 1 flag level and the spawn rate of zombies wasn't too high, which means that the recharge time of our potato mines could keep up with the zombies. Now you may think that this would be a difficult level, but it was actually surprisingly easy, and that's day 11 done. Day 12 is a conveyor belt level, so let's skip this one. Day 13 introduces the zombie bull rider. The first half of the level was a breeze, and I mostly used potato mines to kill all the zombies. Once the prospector zombies arrived, all I had to do was just ignore them. The bull rider zombie only arrived after the first flag, and I managed to clean them up with a jalapeno. The rest of the level was fairly easy, mainly because of the high spawn rate of prospector zombies, which means I could save up on more sun by not spending instant kills on them. And by the time the final wave arrived, all it took was 1 cherry bomb, 1 jalapeno, and a squash to clean up the final wave of zombies. And that's day 13 done and dusted. Day 14 brings the chicken wrangler zombies again. You've got to be kidding me. Not to mention that this is a 2 flag level as well. Oh god. Even the spawn rate of zombies after the first few waves of the level was noticeably higher. The first half of the level was a piece of cake, but the second half, literally a day and night difference in difficulty. The sheer amount of chicken wrangler zombies that spawn is just ridiculous. I've come to a realization that this level is simply impossible without lava guava. After unlocking lava guava, things became a whole lot easier. Now my plan was to pre-plant lava guavas in the back to prepare for the chicken wrangler zombies that spawned later on in the level. But even with lava guava, I still spent more than 1 hour trying to beat this level, but eventually I managed to get things right, and just like that I finally managed to beat day 14. Day 15 is a don't lose more than 2 plants level. Considering that using an instant kill counts as losing a plant, I don't even think that this level is even close to possible. So yeah, I'm skipping this one. Day 16 is the first survive and protect the endangered plants level in Wild West. And the plant we have to protect is a walnut on a minecart. How did you defend the walnut, you ask? Well, all I had to do was just slide the walnut across the row where there were no zombies in the lane. This level was fairly easy and I ended up beating it on the first try. Day 17 is a don't trample the flowers level. Since the flowers are in the middle of the lawn, our planting space is very limited, which means I cannot afford to stall zombies and I have to kill them as quickly as possible. I had a very close call at one point in the level where I almost failed. Luckily, our instant kills could keep up with the amount of zombies that were spawning per wave. Even though we had very limited planting space, I managed to beat this level on the first try. Day 18 is a plan your defense level. Now I'm gonna be completely real here. This level is actually stupid. We can't even pre-plant squashes and lava guavas, and the sheer amount of chicken wrangler zombies that are in this level makes this impossible to beat. I don't care what you guys say, I'm skipping this one. Day 19 is another don't lose more than 2 plants and a don't spend more than X amount of sun level. Well, you already know what I have to do here. Day 20 is a conveyor belt level, so let's skip. Day 21 is another don't let the zombies trample the flowers, and it is also a don't spend more than X amount of sun level. One thing that makes this level a bit more challenging is the prospector zombie. Unlike in the previous levels where you could just ignore it, this time you're not allowed to because they will trample the flowers if you let them walk too far. Luckily, this is a 1 flag level and not too many of them spawned, so this level wasn't that hard to beat. Day 22 is a pre-selected plant level, so we're skipping this one. Day 23 is another level that we have to skip. Oh boy, do I have a lot to say for day 24. If you thought day 10 was bad, day 24 is somehow even worse than that. I am not kidding when I say that I spent almost 4 hours trying to beat this level. Throughout most of my attempts, I couldn't even get close to the final wave. We also have to protect 3 walnuts at the front of the lawn. I think you could see where I'm going with this one. Now you may think that protecting 3 walnuts isn't that difficult with instant kills, since all you have to do is just slide them around in different lanes where there are no zombies in. But it's not that simple. The chickens from the chicken wrangler zombie can easily eat up your walnuts a lot quicker than you think if you're not careful and don't have good micromanagement. And just like that, we already lost while barely going past the first flag. Wow. Now the early game was fairly easy until this hellspawn of a zombie pulled up. If this zombie isn't stunned with a chili bean, they become a lot harder to defend. After playing this level a dozen more times, I started to figure out the zombie spawning patterns for the early game. I decided to pre-plant 3 lava guavas in the 3 middle lanes and a chili bean in the top lane. I used the chili bean at the top lane to stun the chicken wrangler zombie that spawns later on. As for the 3 lava guavas, I used them to kill the 2 chicken wrangler zombies that spawned before the first flag. However, there is one huge flaw with pre-planting lava guavas. Since we aren't allowed to use sunflowers, planting lava guavas in the early game is insanely expensive. Not only that, but our instant kills simply cannot keep up with the spawn rate of zombies that spawn after the first flag. And the sheer amount of chicken wrangler zombies that spawn in this level doesn't help either. Having to keep up with the spawn rate of zombies as well as protecting 4 walnuts is not as easy as it looks. To put it simply, there are too many things to micromanage at once, and the sheer amount of zombies that spawn after the first flag is just overwhelming. Even in the attempts where I did make it to the final wave, I already lost most of my lawnmowers and have very little sun to work with. Not only that, but the final wave literally spawns bull riders and chicken wranglers in every single lane, as if the rest of the level wasn't already bad enough. I don't care what you guys say. This level is straight up impossible. I give up. As for day 25, well, this is a conveyor belt level and it is also the boss level that I managed to beat on the first try. And that is all of Wild West completed. But anyways guys, that is all I have for you in today's video. Part 4 aka Frostbite Caves will be coming out soon, and I will also be live streaming that world every other day. So stay tuned for that. But anyways guys, see you all in the next one.